enforcement to find or what. But how do you roll the dice this hard with your own life for what was in the beginning just traffic violations, and now getting into this super dangerous situation.
All right, Desmond, can you tell us again where we are?
We're southbound on the 5 now, getting into Santa Ana. We just crossed the Orange Crush. And more CHP units getting in on this one. So we'll just have to see how aggressive they get from the ground. But the roadway definitely beginning to open up here. Yeah, well, definitely. There's a moderate amount of traffic out here at this point,
and you know what though,
you want to get behind it, but then.
Well, yeah, what can they do? That he's going too fast for them to do a pit maneuver. That's for sure. I don't know how you lay down a strike.
Yeah.
Really have to get way in front of this vehicle to put a spike strip down. But look at, I mean, this,
wow.
After all these lanes of highway, that would be difficult to do as well. But they seem to be staying right on this guy's case. They're behind him, and they backed off earlier but decided to re-engage, as you say, and they are still tracking or following this guy from the ground and the air as best they can. And as you say, moderate traffic.
Moderate traffic. Crossing the 50, you just crossed the interchange with the 55, still southbound on the 5. So getting into Tustin and Irvine, where this all began, it was Tustin PD just about 15 or 20 minutes ago that initiated this pursuit. And really difficult to track with the lights off. But yeah, I mean, do they want to get behind this person and possibly agitate them even more? And then we could see, we already saw some really high speeds with that before, and then that might tempt this person to drive 140 miles an hour. Or do you let them get away? You don't want to give one, on the scoreboard to the bad guys. I mean, we see it more often than I think some people realize. A lot of pursuits can be canceled within the first 3 or 4 minutes. If the driver's just being really crazy, a lot of agencies will just be like, no, you know what, we're not going to do it. It's not worth the risk to the public. So it's always a balancing act with the authorities. They don't want to necessarily, let them get away and, in a sense, reward this horrible behavior. But at the same time, they have to think about how this could end. It could end with an innocent person being hurt.
And the fact is, they do have the license plate number. That does make a difference. Pardon me. I mean, they could certainly, pick it up later if they absolutely have to. And as you say, if it presents more danger to the rest of the motorists, then certainly that's something that they would possibly consider, I imagine. And always, but we always say, wow, there's another. They're really out there now.
Yeah.
They're in front of and behind.
Yeah, and then the driver just blasts right by him. And it's not like CHP's going slow. It's just how fast this person is going. And with the lights out, and, this person not just endangering everybody else, but he can't see potentially something that could be right in front of him. There could be huge roadway debris.
Right.
There could be a stalled vehicle out here that it could happen at any moment. And this driver could slam right into it. So what is going on with this person that they're willing to take such massive chances? And we're coming down to the 133 freeway and toll road. So we've already basically flew through Irvine, getting down to the south end of Irvine. Just widen out and see if CHP, they're, kind of far back at this point. And you see those units, as soon as they get on the freeway, they get blown away by this person. So do they just kind of hang back, wait and see if this person runs out of gas, gets out and runs somewhere? Where's this person going? I mean, this could be going to San Diego. We have no idea how much gas is for this vehicle, but we know this person not afraid to mash on that gas pedal and get up to some really crazy speeds.
Yeah, well, that's a V6. I just looked it up. I think they can get up to, 155 miles per hour? So,
yeah.
This is really, he is really putting the pedal to the metal, that's for sure, and has not turned his lights back on. And, for a while, in the beginning of this pursuit, when we went on the air, Desmond, at least he had his lights on, and he was still driving very fast and dangerously. But since he's been on this stretch of freeway, or ever since I believe the 5, the southbound 5, he was on the eastbound 91. Since he's been on the southbound 5, he has had his lights off for the time that we've been following this. And as you said, he has a long stretch of road. He could possibly head to San Diego if he wanted to, and don't really know exactly thought pattern with CHP or law enforcement at this time if they would possibly let this go and pick it up later. They did back off at one point, but have re-engaged, as you mentioned. And we've seen a number of vehicles on this stretch of freeway in front of this car and behind, which obviously they're doing everything they can to let him know that they are out there and be visible. I would imagine that's the plot there, because other than that, not sure what they can do on their own to make this guy stop, unless we also mention him running out of gas. That's also a possibility. But not many.
And you know, Pat, speaking of, sorry, I was saying, speaking of running out of gas, I mean, something we've got to think about as well, because as the night goes on, our options get limited, and we're not on a full tank of gas either. We're going to follow this one. We can at least follow it down to Pendleton. I think I was just conferring with Maury, my pilot, on this one, but yeah, it's tough for. You can see CHP. They're way back there. It's like they're giving him, maybe you could say, a comfortable amount of space without giving him all the space in the world, so that if this does end with the suspect getting out and running, they won't be too far behind him. Maybe they can get out and chase him down on foot, but that's just kind of wishful thinking right now. They need to keep the spotlight on this car, or they're going to lose it if they have any interest in following this to the end at all. Sometimes we'll see him go into tracking mode, but you can't really track at night with a black car that's driving with its lights out on a fairly empty freeway. There you see right there a bit of a close call. That person right there had no idea that this guy was coming right along on their right. We're down towards Lake Forest now. We've gone through the El Toro Y, so we're headed down into southern Orange County.
Oh, you know what? Can you kind of do a guesstimate, Des, as to how far this guy has traveled?
Well, let's see. Orange Crush up to the 91. I would estimate that's maybe 8-10 miles. Then he went another 4 or 5 miles up around the Santa Fe Springs area, and then doubled back. So I think we've traveled maybe 30-40 miles at this point, but we're going, well over a mile a minute now. And I'm just hearing CHP chattering here. I mean, he's going through, different jurisdictions so quickly. They're all just kind of deciding who's going to take this, how far they're going to take it, what units to get involved. Everyone kind of keeping everybody apprised of each other. But in the San Juan Capistrano area now, I may have just heard something about a spike strip, but that's going to be really difficult to do and very dangerous for any officers, Pat.
Okay, Des, just for a second. We want to tell our viewers that we will continue following this live pursuit on CBS News Los Angeles. You can watch on the CBS News app, Pluto TV, and CBSLA.com. And we're still following breaking news overseas, Russia beginning its attack on Ukraine. CBS 2 is back at 4:30 a.m. with the very latest on the dire situation there. All right, Desmond, we're going to pick this back up on CBS News Los Angeles. So I believe you were just mentioning about the other jurisdictions getting involved, or them certainly alerting. Well, look how he just went around that car. It almost looks like there was another car out there with no lights on, Desmond. Did you notice that?
It happened so fast, I wasn't. It just went by me so quick, Pat. I didn't see that, but boy, yeah, it's I believe San Juan Capistrano station now with Orange County CHP that is handling this one right now.
They're getting more aggressive. They're getting more aggressive.
This is the closest they've been. This is the closest they've been in quite some time. We may be in a construction zone right now. Yeah, I see that white K-rail. They're doing some freeway widening here. Not sure if there's any road work up ahead. I do see some wide open roads. Unfortunately, we're only going to be able to stick with this for a couple of more minutes. So would love to see it come to a safe conclusion here within the next 5 minutes or so, but it may just be wishful thinking. On the right side of that big rig right there, lights still off. I think we're up to close to 100 miles an hour. It's just amazing to think how long this person's been driving without their lights off, and pretty close to triple-digit speeds.
And you know, thank goodness nothing has happened.
Oh,
Desmond, did he hit that truck?
oh, that was so close. He
Wow.
might have traded a little bit of paint there. It was so close. Really just squeezing every inch out. It's you just can't believe the breathtaking risks that this person
Well, look.
has taken. And they're obviously willing to, how can I say this? You know, end in a crash if it has to. They're going to do whatever they can to get away from CHP, but it's CHP does not look like they are going to let this go. If they were going to let it go, they would have done it a long time ago when we saw that super dangerous driving back in Santa Fe Springs on the wrong side of the road. CHP looks like they are determined to take this as far as they have to.
Wow, that's close right there as well. And as you mentioned, Desmond, yeah, what are you doing? What is a initial traffic violation? What could be so bad that you are willing to, as you said, risk your life basically, you know, trying to get away from law enforcement at this point? It's just mind-boggling in a way. Because he's not just a danger to other people on the road. I mean, he's presenting a danger to himself. We saw him almost really just run right into that truck, as you said, and he possibly could have just, you know, scraped it or run into it a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry to say the reason you're seeing it get farther away from us is because we are at our limit. We took it down to the Laguna Hills area near the end of the 73 freeway. Unfortunately, I was just conferring with my pilot, Maury, about fuel options, and John Wayne Airport was not an option for us, so that really limited how far we could go. And I really hate for pursuits to end this way with no ending. Hopefully we'll hear somewhere later tonight how this ended. Hopefully it ended safely, but unfortunately we have to give this one up because Chopper just does not have enough fuel, Pat.
All right, we want to make sure that you get back to where you have to be, Desmond, safe and on the ground. So thanks for that, friend. And I will be speaking with you tomorrow night, I'm sure, or tomorrow afternoon at some point. And we thank our viewers for watching us on CBS News Los Angeles.